Hey, welcome back. So I have a new video for you today. So before we get started, I just want to set the scene for you. So I recently picked up the Fuji X100V, and when I got it, I went out for 7 days in a row to do street photography. And every time I came home, I noted down in my notebook the feelings and the thoughts of the handling of the camera. So I'm going to voice that over in each of the segments. And also I'm going to show you a lot of photographs. All of them are JPEGs. I use different film simulations. I will also note that in the different segments. And the only editing that I've done is that I leveled the horizon where it might have been crooked and also might have cropped in a few photos. But otherwise, they are straight out of camera. I hope you really enjoy this video. A few thoughts on my first day out with the X100V. I went out to my local neighborhood to get a feel of the camera. My settings are aperture priority mode as I don't feel ready to use manual mode yet. My objective is to get a feel of the camera and start taking a few pictures. They're not going to be masterpieces. I have set up the camera with back button focused and customized the camera as much as I could before actually using it. This is based on my experience with my other Sony camera. key takeaways from day one is that I'm struggling just with handling the camera and holding it correctly. It keeps slipping out of my hands due to the lack of a grip. The ergonomics are really not that great. Luckily, I had my Peak Design handcuff on. The pictures are mostly blurry and out of focus, especially the selfie ones. Yes, I took a few. I also didn't dial in the shutter speed correctly, which is why the pictures are blurry when I'm walking and taking pictures and not standing still. Day 2 with the X100V, and overall takeaways are that I had a better experience as I dialed in the settings for movement, which is shutter speed to eliminate blurry photos as I'm walking and taking pictures. Normally I use manual mode, but aperture priority mode is still best to use for this camera. My muscle memory is slowly beginning to develop. I'm still struggling with the ergonomics of the camera, and I'm not liking the back button placement of the button in the back. It feels awkward to me to use, and I have to stretch my finger and hand. Another pain that was recurring was the autofocus point kept on moving by accident and resulted in photos being out of focus or focus being on the wrong thing. That really frustrated me. Day 3 with the X100V. I finally got my accessories for the camera, which is the thumb grip and a camera strap from Squarehood. The thumb grip makes a really big difference. The camera feels so secure in my hand and I can really grab on to the camera. Definitely a great purchase. The strap is sleek and beautiful and I can wrap it around my hand without issue. And when not shooting, I can have my camera around the neck or hanging on my shoulder. I'm still struggling with the settings and going back and forth between manual mode and aperture priority modes. There are pros and cons to both modes. Key takeaways. The camera is super discreet and ideal for street photography, and the way I'm holding it up high and close to my body, I can take photos quickly and even without being noticed. The pictures were okay, nothing super exciting yet. I still need to find my mojo though. Day 4 with the X100V. I brought the camera with me to a family event, as this was actually one of the reasons I bought the camera. To be able to bring it with me and take photos in JPEG and minimize editing afterwards. Still feels great with the thumb grip. Most of the photos came out great. They were very atmospheric and people didn't feel intimidated by me walking around taking photos. There was a minor thing that happened. I accidentally moved the exposure compensation dial to -3, and it took me a minute to figure out why the photos were underexposed. Nothing serious, and it didn't happen again. For the issue with autofocus points moving from day 1, I changed the setting internally in the camera to lock it so it wouldn't move by accident. Day 5 with the X100V. I went to the local park and took a few snaps, and just to practice. At this point, most of my custom settings and custom dial functions are dialed in to my liking. Also, I'm getting an understanding of all the film simulations. I use the LCD more, but I like the EVF also. Both are great. The camera is a bit slow to focus, and when film simulations are on, especially with clarity, then the camera buffers and struggles a lot. Day 6 and 7 with the X100V. I don't have footage for this segment as I wanted to go out without a lot of gear on me, but I took a lot of photos that are shown throughout this segment. I felt really confident going out with the camera in terms of settings and overall handling of the camera. Prior to going out, I have been researching zone focusing and had it set up to try it out. It took some getting used to, and I don't think at this point I'm doing it correctly, so I need to dig further into this, but I like it so far. Final thoughts. Overall, I like the X100V. It's a very different experience from my other Sony camera. Most of the custom buttons are now dialed in, but I had to change them a few times. Most of my quote-unquote frustration was about settings, and that is all due to getting to know the camera more. So more practice and more photos to develop that muscle memory. I still feel that this camera is absolutely great for street photography, as I can be super discreet. And also with zone focusing enabled, I don't have to spend a lot of time on autofocus and also be able to take photos more rapidly. This wraps up a week of street photography with the X100V. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more POVs coming out soon. Take care and see you in the next one.